one thing to do is kind of eliminate as many variables as use things that are as close as possible to each other. So if I have 1¼ flat bar, and I know I'm going to wrap and weld everything, I'm going to want to use 1¼ carbon steel insert. So that I don't have any hangover, which will create an ugly, nasty weld zone and just make more cleanup for myself later. So make everything nice and symmetrical as it's going to get anyway. It's controlled chaos. You can do your best to try and eliminate as many variables as possible, but it's going to still do whatever the hell it wants. Of it knocked down to the right size. Now to facilitate a nice joint up by my eye, I'm going to draw what's going to be on the eye side down to a taper, just like I would scarf for like a lap weld.
What are you making?
Tomahawk. Sorry.
Yeah. Some of us knew.
I'm demonstrating a forge welded wrapped eye tomahawk.
I like the your extra long handle on your hammer there.
Oh yeah. All that Hoffy hammer stuff just drives me crazy. Nice hammer. I have one. I've used one for years. I use it for 2 years at a time. But then a guy by the name of Dick Sargent, who I studied under at Peters Valley for a summer, he had a 1.5 pound head, really light head, and a really long handle, longer than that even. And just makes me look like a child. Completely. Speed and power makes me look like a child. So it's all about getting way out on the length of that handle and getting the leverage.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Using the mechanical advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Make the tools work for you.
And I remember from last time you were here, you were definitely Mr. Hit it hard, hit it fast.
Oh yeah, sure. I don't like to screw around.
Yeah, but we certainly work on metal that's way too cold and hit it way too not hard enough. We like to operate at what we call exercise tempo.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Forging for fitness, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. There you go. Forging for fitness. There you go.
We need
like
t-shirts.
I just get forging for fitness.
Forging for fitness.
I just got a coupon for kickboxing for fitness.
Yes.
I was like, why would you want to kick the hell out of somebody, but then, you know, lose some weight? And then I was like, oh yeah, I'd totally love to kick the hell out of somebody and lose weight. So you're still having a good time forging, and you're forging for fitness, so that's okay. I'm in it for the money.
There you go.
Which is ridiculous, because you never make any kind of good money as a blacksmith.
You make somebody else.
But you get to make cool toys.
You get to make cool toys, and you get to have fun. And you get to accumulate really nice toys that hopefully are paid for completely by your job. So you might eat ramen, but you really have a really badass power hammer.
That's a fair trade-off.
It's totally worth it. Weeks of diarrhea. I mean, I'm holding with 2 fingers, too. If you look at my hand, I have these 3 fingers opened up the whole time.
Nice pivot.
It hurts though. So I'll do my best to keep everything at 1/4 inch too. Make it nice, even, clean, flat bar. And I'm good. Then I'll clean everything up. And, you know, keep my scarf centered. You know, so it's nice. So it's still 1/4 inch. Now it's knocked down to 1.5 inches or 1 1/4 inches, because that's the flat bar I got. That's getting a little hot, so perfect timing. So now I'll prep this flat stock
So I walked in late. What are you up to?
Making an insert steel bit, wrapped eye, forge welded tomahawk.
See, that three comes real fast.
Just a classic style tomahawk, you know, welded in carbon steel insert with a soft iron body. Well, it's soft steel. I didn't have any good wrought iron to bring with me.
Just that.
Yeah. No big deal.
It'll work in a pinch.
Sure. There we go. So now one thing that you usually get when you bend flat bar, especially around something else, if the flat bar goes around and bends this way around something, you usually end up with a cup. And it's really unsightly. You can get around that real easy by pre-cupping the back of that bar. So I'll eyeball how much length I'm gonna need. Take a really good guess, and then sort of dimple the bar over the hardy hole a little bit, or here in the valley, and then fold it over. And then just get it started at a 180, and then put the drift in and squeeze it in the vise the rest of the way. So my middle will be right about here. So I got 1, 2, 3. You can see my little dimple there. Just bump it up a hair. Doesn't really swell out too much, so I don't bother to bump it out all that much.
You're not worried about hitting the cold side of the steel with your hammer?
No, not at all. It's soft iron, so
Oh, okay.
it won't do no damage. That hammer is harder than a lot of different things. So pretty much anything.
Harder than teeth?
Harder than teeth. I don't want to test that out though.
No.
I just got busted right in the bridge of the nose when I missed and hit the anvil and bounced the door square up and hit me right between the eyes.
Wow.
It was very uncomfortable.
Like recently?
Yeah, like last week.
Good thing you didn't knock
It
yourself out.
hit just enough to like be like, ow, that really hurt. But then not enough to like bust my nose. So
Which is a good thing, otherwise Kerry would have taken pictures and posted them.
exactly.
Hey, he said he
Make
should've
sure you say that loud enough for the video.
been- Sam should have been bobbing and weaving.
He definitely would have taken pictures and posted it on Facebook.
See, I
That's
did
Kerry.
I stared square at it too. I was like, bam.
I sliced the crap out of myself when I was sharpening a machete, and I posted it on Facebook because I bled on the machete, and I was like, "Look at this! Is this a crime scene or am I sharpening stuff?" And like a whole bunch of people posted.
First taste of blood.
Should we pick up the kids? Like,
Oh!
are you freaking kidding me? And then I deleted
Well,
all
as a
the
matter of
posts.
fact, yes, you should. You should keep them for a couple of days.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that would work out pretty well.
Bring it back on Thursday.
Should we be concerned about you? I'm like, no, it's funny when you get hurt. Come on. If you can't enjoy getting hurt, like, that doesn't work.
Well,
Now, when you
situation.
do get hurt,
Situationally, of course.
there you go. If you didn't make it on purpose, you have to laugh at it, right?
Exactly. As long as it's not serious enough or enough time has passed since a serious accident that you can laugh at it, then it's totally cool.
If I'm missing more than like 1.5 fingers, I'm probably not going to take a picture first.
That's even better when the guy working next to is squeamish.
Oh, you're like, oh God! Got you. And they're like, oh.
Well, I love doing that to my wife because I'm like, I come out and go, hey, I don't want you to freak out, but look. And then I'll squeeze my hand so more blood comes out.
Oh,
And she's
yeah,
like,
that's
no, God, no! Anyway, wait, can we edit that out before it goes? I don't want her to know my secret.
So I'll fit that in there just rough. And you know, it's not off on center or none of that stuff. And I probably think I do want a little more material in there. So Let's see about metal. It's not subtractive unless you're grinding.
Not wood.
Yeah, it's not wood. And it's not stone. Because then you can just, move more material in there now. We'll drift back in. Back of the eye shape set to the drift. So, take another heat. Just to make sure things are nice and set. When you're welding, you can always try and do your best, if your eye is too big, to just keep welding back a little bit up to the drift until things fit a little bit more. So if you find that it's way too big by ½ an inch, you just take another welding heat and try and pinch it shut just a little more.
So is that a blank?
What's this guy here?
The thing in the middle? Is
Uh,
that you just size that?
Yeah, it's called a drift. It's really a mandrel, because when you have a drift, you drive a drift all the way through to drift a hole to size. This is really a mandrel because you only drive it into a certain depth because the handles are tapered. So to get the eye tapered, you just drive it into whatever depth you want. And the handle drops right in. Cool. So I'll center things up and then I'll come over and do a good bit of cheating.
That's not cheating, that's called proper use of tools.
Exactly. Just squeeze that shut the rest of the way. Make sure it's straight. And you can see, take a look around, that the drift fits in there pretty tight, and I've pinched that metal and gripped the mandrel with it fairly well.
Oh, you got the grip.
I got that grip, the Kung Fu grip. Or whatever the
G.I. Joe.
whatever American Indian Kung Fu grip is.
There you go.
These are, oh, you can see they're really good. Perfect. If I wanted to, I'd clamp that in the vise again and beat it this way or beat it that way to get the teardrop pointing in line with the center of the seam between the two flaps there.
Or you can still do that any time, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's not a critical move at this point.
No, not at all. So now I'll take a heat on that eye and open that back up. There is a welder here, cool. Does that welder work? Yeah. Because I need to just do one little cheating tap. I mean, it's not cheating. If they had them, they would have used them, blah, 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 blah.
That's what I said.
So I prep my material, which you don't really need to do if you buy it. If you start with scrap, you're probably going to need to do that. Now I prep the wraparound for the eye and all that blank stuff. Then I'll trim this to the right length, cut that off of the parent bar, and not burn it up talking.
We never did that here either.
Oh, no, never. You guys are lucky. I do that all the time.
Amateur.
So now I can hit that exceptionally hot bar of steel.
That's a good idea.
Soapstone?
Yep.
Here. Take a bit. Thank you. Now I'll put that in there this way. And I'll just tap it till I'm at the right depth, which is right at the front of the eye there. Some guys will make that scarf really short so that it's only about that big. I like to put it far back just because I think it closes the eye a little bit, and when it doesn't, it leaves a cool little pointed transition there. So you can hide your bad welding up near the eye with a decorative element.
Boy.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but it does, to me it helps close that joint a little bit. And then also it gives you more material to play with, which is the cool part. So
Screw up room.
So I know exactly. So while
in programming we call that it's not a bug, feature.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a great way to say it. All right.
Well, it's a feature. They meant to do that.
Now I'll take the soap and I'll mark my carbon steel. And I'll mark my mild steel. So now I can pull those out. Alrighty.
You have a wider one.
Nah, that's cool.
Warm?
Burn my hand on that drift. Make a cold registration mark.
I'm not to remember registration mark. I was just put a mark in there.
Just to register where it is.
A reference point.
A reference point, yeah. Definitely drop your soap stone.
Just not in the shower.
Just not in the shower now. Definitely not in the shower. I'll heat that up and I'll nip that off. While I'm waiting for that, I can put a registration mark on the carbon steel too. I'll leave myself a little bit extra.
I was planning on doing something. Probably all over the trash.
I find registration marks work better than soapstone.
Oh yeah, soapstone's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. They say you can see that. Maybe everyone else can. I'm just the one that can't. But I've never had much luck with that.
Anytime I hear somebody say that you can see soapstone after a piece is hot, I'm like, do you do welding? And they're like, yep. I'm like, what color or temperature are you talking? Really hot, like a dull red. So you definitely see it then. Not when it's like
welding temperature.
No, not when it's welding
That's
temperature.
exercise temperature.
Exactly. When it's exercise temperature, exactly.
There you go.
That is an excellent term. Also, I kind of messed up. You don't really have to do a registration mark on here because wherever that other side ends, you kind of want that side to end too. So clip them off evenly, really.
So it's a redundancy mark.
It is a redundancy mark. So, nice good heat in there. Try not to shoot you guys. So I shot at you instead. I'll clip my carbon steel off.
You won't mind if we don't take it off.
No, yeah, let me hand you that.
Here, let me get that for you.
Wait, it's glowing. It's hot. Wait till it stops glowing.
At least you can see it. So as you can see, I got my cockroach tongs, I kind of call them. You get around that eye. So as you're welding, you can work all up in the beard this way, make your shoulders this way, do a lot of different stuff. I'll even those up. And they're not really that even.
Much better.
Or are they? And now they're perfect. These are really handy. They're not handy for much, but they're handy. The stuff they are handy for, they are excellent. These are good tongs. I got these from Glenn Stolmeyer. GS tongs.
Hey, we got a couple sets of those.
Yeah, I make them differently. I make them a little more stout. But these are great. They've lasted me a long time.
We might have found you. The handle come off a little?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's old.
It's old.
I don't know why we have old.
I love this building. Oh my god.
Wait, every time we close it out.
That's a recent period.
Oh yeah, he's doing them at all around bar like that.
He's
Okay.
making them on everything.
Oh, that's a little uncomfortable. Huh. Not too bad though. These are.
Saying you making them stouter?
Yeah, I make them stouter. Yeah.
Those are not thin. I've never seen one that
Yeah.
he's making them thicker. I think he's joining.
These were, yeah, I got these years ago. I've had them for 4 years now. He's since moved to Vietnam or Thailand or something like that.
Taiwan.
So.
Somewhere the International Post Office sends us stuff.
Yeah. So now, completely lose your registration mark because it didn't make it big enough in the first place. There we go. Oh, it's kind of clean up my bar a little bit. Don't leave myself a mess. Both pieces.
Which way?
Make everything good and flat again. Can't rock it, of course.
Yeah, it's a good thing the cup wasn't there.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
why I moved it.
Good
I
anticipation.
hate water around my anvil.
That
Quench
would be the end
buckets,
of fun right there.
any of that stuff, because you will be guaranteed. Just like moving parts, moving machinery, that is unguarded, you are guaranteed to stick a finger in it.
I worry about that constantly, but I guess that's good. If you don't worry about it,
Yeah.
when you do it, right?
Exactly. So I'll clean that up, make it nice and flat. I'll quench this because it's mild steel. Doesn't matter.
It's angry.
Damn you! Pissed off with all mine.
Use that perfect little groove. Oops.
Not so much.
Not so perfect now, is it?
Well, those parts are mobile.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, adjust as necessary.
Now I can do that. Get this in place. And you can see that's pretty closed up. Which is exactly what I want. Because now as I put this in here, spring tension is my friend. And that holds that piece in there. And now I'll line it up. Make sure it's flush, top, bottom, and front.
You don't want any sticking out, huh?
Don't want any sticking out, no. Maybe out of the front a little bit, just to make sure that the soft steel doesn't wrap around, because it's going to move a lot quicker under the hammer than the carbon steel in the middle. So make sure I'm good to go. You know, nice and even, a little bit sticking out the tip. That's not a problem at all. 1.25 inch width, 1/4 inch thick, and you can see that taper in there. Pretty good. And that welder does work, right?
Set them up to weld. Set them up to weld.
Well, the carbon steel is protected by the mild steel surrounding it. So the mild steel will burn up before the carbon steel will burn up. So it's a pretty easy weld, this one. Great for practice. You get a finished product. If your weld isn't solid, you sure know. When you go to draw out, spread out the blade a little bit. So.
But you have any trouble holding things together, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What about the flux?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that now.
Okay.
That's borax there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There's some in the sprinkler. Yep.
Use it just like it's free. It is definitely not a specific, similar-looking Colombian product. It's borax, just cheap old borax, so use the hell out of it. You can dry weld, and yeah, it's a great big thing to say, I can dry weld and all that, and blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares as long as the weld sticks.
That's okay. It was welded, it's welded.
There's other crafts that have better pissing contests.
Like alligator wrestling.
Exactly. Yeah. That is an ancient American craft. So I'll get it in there, and I'll start to heat it up until I get a good dull red. Let's see. This is correct.
Sam, you need a cutter anymore?
No, yeah, thank you. I want to get it a little bit of a dull red, so that when I put the flux on, it melts good and easy. Like I said, I'll use the hell out of it. When you get some down in the eye, make sure tip the whole end of it in there.
This is a smell expert.
Yeah. Now this is where learning to use a coal forge comes in handy. Learning to judge the temperature of something without really looking at it, just knowing kind of how long it's been in there. So I'll set this in there and I'll keep spinning it. And as I get up to temperature also, I'll probably flux it again.
loved it.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by it. So we can use our bodies to stop that from happening. Or we can use Keith to stop that. Yes, you can stand right in front.
I'm gonna take a step back.
I mean, Operation Human Shield, that's a good thing.
That's right.
That's what you think we're
El Presidente. You can lead from the front, sir.
So now I really like a hand crank or a bellows, especially if I'm doing any forge welding, because you can really slow down and bring it right up to welding temperature, just below it, and let it soak.
Well, what's up, man? Let's see.
Hey.
You're just in time to see tomahawk head.
So I'll flux it again, just for the heck of it. You can see the tips up to a welding temperature. Yep, just a little bit of sparks. See how they use the heck out of this. 51,660.
Jersey Colbert, or what's his name there?
Steelberry.
Jersey Steelberg?
Aldo, yeah.
Aldo.
Yeah, he's got what you need.
That's www.newjerseysteelbaron.com.
Aldo Bruto, best steel around.
Protecting you from the splatter coming in here.
I only ever use his steel, actually. He does have the best.
Yeah, but this thing's over, right?
So you know you're just about close to welding temperature when you look in and the flux is all nice and glassy. It looks like butter on hot toast. And also you watch the color of the fire change. You can see it a little bit right here. There's bright orange and yellows, and then there's a very deep dark orange. You see it start to come up. And that's just before it starts to burn. And that's just perfect welding temperature. So I'll crank it nice and slow now and let the heat soak in. Make sure everything's...
Yeah, I guess with all that metal, you want a slow, even heat, right?
Yep. Yeah, because you want to
have
get...
so much mass there.
Yeah,
right?
if the inside's not hot, it's not going
It's
to
not
weld.
stick. Yeah.
Plus, you don't burn up the metal as easily, I guess.
Exactly.
Do a slow
I'll give it one more turn,
like our blower.
just to make sure everything's good and hot.
It's the burner blower.
The burner blower. Do you see the color difference there? You can really see it on this side.
Like it's green here.
Yeah, it's almost like it's green, yeah.
Yeah.
That lets you know. And if I go a little bit farther, you'll just start to see a few sparks coming out of there. It's just getting to be just about burning.
There's your sparks.
Yep. So mild steel, make sure that it gets good and welded. I'll let it go farther than I should.
The greenish flame is the flux burning?
Is the flux, yeah. Now I'll get ready to come out. And spectacular picture. Then I'll work my way back towards the eye. Flip it over. Immediately start to work it up on edge to see if my weld is set. Looks like everything is done its job. Okay, so
It's good for back here.
it's set pretty good.
Yeah.
And you can see the seams a little bit on both sides. But what you're looking for is a color difference. Because if one piece isn't welded to the other two, or vice versa, you'll see one be a little bit colder than the other. It's a piece that isn't welded. So you can see it's a nice even yellow. So it's been welded good and solid. But just be careful. I always take another course. Flux. the end. Gets him in the eye.
You don't wire brush it or anything in between?
Nah, the flux had carried out any of the dirt that was in between the joints. Any of the dirt and scale. Let the flux melt a little bit. Build my fire some. Did anybody get a spectacular shot of that? Did it work out?
I almost did.
Almost?
I was actually, I set it up to record at high speed.
Oh, really?
And,
I think you can.
I was right there, and I hit the record button, and it focused on the fire.
Ah,
It
bummer!
only came up all like blurry at 120 frames per second, but it's very artistic looking.
I'll see if I can get it. Because this one, there's flux on there again. That's not really the metal that's coming off, it's the flux, it's liquid. Right? So, there's flux on there again, I'll see if I can. I'll give you a little bit more warning.
This guy.
I smell chest hair.
And a security seat.
If I further the crap out of myself, I can take a picture of it and then put it on Facebook.
There you go.
Make sure you have the sound on that.
Yeah.
Well, at high speed there is no sound. Although that would be funny, wouldn't it?
Sound like in space, no one can hear you scream.
Now I see what it's doing.
Then the fire, does it color change when it starts to burn proteins?
What's that?
The fire changes color again when it starts to burn proteins?
Proteins.
Yeah, your skin.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, if I stuck my hand in there, the fire would definitely turn a different color. Oh, yeah.
Firewood,
Yeah,
space wood.
You're gonna have to take my word for it.
Too much paperwork.
Okay, you ready?
I think so.
I'll do like 1, 2, 3, and then I'll pull it out and go to town.
Alright.
It's good and buttery, and you can see now that different orange color, especially there, and then sparks right behind it. So I'll crank it good and slow. Let that welding heat come up, and I can see in there that the flux is floating like butter on toast. And there's a little spark. So 1, 2, 3. You work both sides evenly, because the side against the anvil is going to get a little colder, because it's a giant hunk of metal. Pulls out all your welding heat.
Yeah, it really sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, sucks it right out.
When you weld, you normally start the middle of the mass and work towards the edges.
Yeah.
And try and pin the edges
Yep.
first and work towards the middle.
Yeah, as I walked my way up and back the first time, I started at the tip and stayed in the middle, and then I walked left, right, left, right, left, right.
Okay. So
Flipped
you
it
get
over,
square.
up the middle, left, right, left, right, left.
Oh man, that was beautiful.
Was it cool, yeah?
Yes, it came out great that time.
So now, pull my tongs. Now I can just shape it